On the newest lawsuit against Diddy, he's being sued by a woman named Crystal McKinney. She alleged that Diddy gave her drugs and alcohol and kissed her without her consent, forced her to give him oral sex, and sent her home in a cab while she was blacked out, and that is when she woke up in the cab on the way home. Reporter Megan Cuniff shared the paperwork for the lawsuit, and it revealed that Crystal has evidence from the night Diddy allegedly assaulted her. It says, due to the traumatic events to occur later, plaintiff saved the unwashed.
Brand new information from music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones is about to blow the lid off the secrets lurking behind the glitz and glamour. In a civil lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, Jones is going into even more detail, alleging shocking accusations and spilling Diddy's alleged secrets.
It's very scary for myself, and it has me worried about my kids, and just sleeping with anxiety and different things like that. So just moving forward.
But what revelation does Rodney Lil Rod Jones possess? And how devastating will this be for Diddy? Join us as we delve into the explosive revelations from Diddy's former producer, uncovering the truths he never wanted to be revealed. But before we do that, don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's dive deep. On Tuesday, attorneys representing Rodney Jones, whom we've discussed before as the former music producer for Sean Diddy Combs, filed new court documents in his lawsuit against Combs for sex trafficking, sexual assault, and harassment. These documents included an 18-page unsworn declaration from Jones himself, detailing more of what he witnessed, heard, and experienced while working and living with Combs. In this detailed declaration, Jones starts with a solemn promise that he is telling the truth, stating, "I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth herein, which I know to be true and correct, and if called upon to testify as a witness, I could and would completely testify thereto." It's important to note that Jones is making these statements under threat of perjury, meaning that if he is found to be lying, there could be serious consequences. One of the reasons Jones may be providing such detailed information is to bolster his credibility, which has come under attack in the public eye. Some individuals named in his lawsuit have challenged his claims, questioning his narratives and motives. Jones sees this as an opportunity to demonstrate to the court that he has evidence to support his claims and is willing to testify about them. The declaration covers various aspects, including background information on how Jones became associated with and started working for Diddy. It also includes specific details of the alleged incidents and interactions he had with Diddy, providing a more comprehensive picture of the events in question. According to Jones, he possesses hundreds of hours of video footage featuring Combs and his inner circle. Jones claims that Combs required him to film constantly because Combs did not like to repeat himself. Jones stated, "I quickly learned that from observing him lose his temper with his staff and family if they fail to remember something he said a day or two prior." Jones goes on to list various crimes he claims to have witnessed in real time, including the acquisition, use, and distribution of drugs like ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms. He also alleges that he witnessed Combs display and distribute unregistered illegal firearms. Jones further claims to have seen Combs provide laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers at his homes in California, New York, the Virgin Islands, and Florida. Additionally, Jones accuses Combs' chief of staff, Christina Coram, of instructing staff to retrieve drugs for Combs' consumption. Jones also recounts an alleged assault he witnessed on Combs' chartered yacht. This incident involves Combs' son, Christian King Combs, and a woman named Gro Mary, who was a stewardess on the yacht during the Christmas holiday in 2022. Jones claims to have witnessed Christian Combs drug and sexually assault the stewardess while they were on the yacht rented in St. Bartholomew, St. Martin, and the Virgin Islands. Jones states that the assault began in the makeshift studio on the yacht while he was recording Christian Combs' auto-tuned rapping. This incident aligns with a separate civil action filed by Jones's attorneys against Christian Combs on behalf of Gro Mary. In this lawsuit, Gro Mary alleges that Christian Combs gave her a spiked drink, touched her without her consent, and tried to force her to perform oral sex on him, leading her to fight him off. The next part of Mr. Jones's declaration is truly intriguing. He mentions having videos of himself and Mr. Combs working out on the treadmill while listening to sermons by T.D. Jakes. Initially, Jones found it admirable that Combs listened to sermons while exercising, but he later realized that Combs was not studying the message. Instead, he was studying the preacher's mannerisms. Combs allegedly planned to use his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to improve his public image following Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. Ventura had sued Combs in 2023 for sexual assault and sex trafficking, but the lawsuit was settled the day after it was filed. Jones also describes an event at a writer's camp at Chalice Recording Studios. In his lawsuit, he claims to have witnessed a shooting there and alleges that Combs tried to cover up his involvement. Jones states that Combs transformed the studio's parking lot into a makeshift nightclub, complete with a full-service bar, a massage spa, and hookah. Combs reportedly insisted that everyone working on the Love album take lace shots of Del Tequila. Jones felt compelled to comply, as refusing would raise suspicions of being untrustworthy. It was only later that Jones realized Combs used these lace shots to exert control over those consuming the alcohol. The lawsuits against Combs include accusations of sex trafficking, which allegedly prompted a Homeland Security investigation. 2 weeks ago, Homeland Security agents raided his properties in Lane, Miami in connection with the trafficking operation. Jones's declaration continued, stating, "Throughout the duration of my time living with Mr. Combs, I personally witnessed him order his staff to bring him drugs and sex workers. This was a common occurrence, and he was never told no." Jones claims that during this time, he was coerced into soliciting sex workers and performing sex acts for Combs's pleasure. Unbeknownst to Jones, Combs had hidden cameras and audio devices in all the rooms of his homes. Jones only discovered this several months into living with him when he had to pick up his Uber Eats delivery from the security office. Usually, the security would bring his food deliveries to him, but on this occasion, they allowed him to retrieve it himself. Jones saw multiple large flat-screen televisions, each displaying 20 to 30 small screens showing different rooms in and around Combs's home. Jones's claim of being sex trafficked is serious, and if there are videos supporting this, it could be significant evidence in a trial. Jones even provided specific dates when he claims he was forced to solicit sex workers for Combs. He also mentioned a celebrity, Chris Brown, in connection to these activities. On February 2nd, 2023, I believe Mr. Combs drugged me. I remember waking up naked, feeling dizzy and confused, in bed with 2 sex workers and Mr. Combs. I also recall aimlessly wandering around the house with no clothes on. I have photos of the sex workers sleeping on the bed the morning after, which I can provide to the court if necessary. In his declaration, Jones explains some of the things that Combs offered him, which is crucial in a sex trafficking case. The commercial element of commercial sex acts involves being transported over state lines, forced to perform sex acts, and being promised something of value. Jones states, "Mr. Combs promised me many things to entice me to continue engaging in his sex trafficking operation. On multiple occasions, we discussed winning Grammys for the Love album. He promised I would win the Grammy for Producer of the Year for the Love album. He offered me $250,000 to purchase all the instruments I wanted. He promised me ownership of his $20 million property, One Star Island in Miami, Florida. He promised to give me access to record label executives." Jones also gives more details about an alleged assault that happened in Miami. He says that while using the restroom, young Miami's cousin burst into the bathroom and began groping him. Jones believes that Mr. Combs sent her in to sexually assault him, as he could hear Combs and the other guests laughing outside the door. She then allegedly began performing oral sex on him against his will. Despite Jones's rejection, she followed him out of the bathroom and attempted to have sex with him in front of Mr. Combs and his staff, who were all laughing. These lawsuits involving Diddy can be complex and challenging to understand, especially with all the civil claims and allegations involved. Jones also described Combs's sometimes violent personality. He stated, "Mr. Combs often switched his approach to force me to obey and comply with his demands. On multiple occasions, he would threaten me with physical harm. Mr. Combs threatened to eat my face and informed me that he was willing to kill his mother to get what he wanted, so he wouldn't think twice about harming me." This aligns with prior complaints about Combs's behavior. Jones further revealed, Mr. Combs would also make me work out of his bedroom whenever he had gang members and drug dealers visit him. I have witnessed Mr. Combs handing out guns from the hidden room in his bedroom closet. Known gang members at his homes in Miami were paid from the stacks of cash in the hidden room. Jones emphasized that Combs was aware of his power and made sure everyone around him knew it too. Regarding funding his lifestyle, Jones stated, "Throughout my time living with Mr. Combs, he made it clear that he did not spend his money on anything. He emphasized partnerships and relationships with powerful individuals and organizations that funded his lifestyle." Jones also refuted claims by Universal Music Group, a defendant in his lawsuit. He wrote, claims they did not pay for sex workers or sponsor club love parties or the writers' camp. These claims contradict what I saw. And Motown employees were present at the writers' camp, listening parties and after parties. Mr. Combs told me they were scouting for talent, and I saw them there. They also paid for the sex workers. I have videos of the Chalice recording studio sessions and in-home recording sessions showing sex workers and producers in the studio. In these videos, the only individuals who were paid were the sex workers. This is Jones's account, and if he can back it up with receipts, photos, and screenshots, it becomes crucial. These are very serious claims, and now he's reinforcing them in this court filing, stating that he can prove them. Jones also provides multiple photos in the lawsuit of men and women inside a recording studio. He claims that the women in these photos are sex workers. The declaration goes on to talk about the alleged bragging that Combs did to Jones. Jones lists several stories Combs allegedly told him. For example, Combs bragged about having Daphne Joy, the mother of a competing rapper's child, on payroll as one of his sex workers. Jones claims to have a video of Combs on a massage table receiving a massage from a professional masseuse while Daphne Joy is giving him a foot massage. Combs also allegedly bragged about shooting a woman in the face in 1999 in New York City and getting away with it. He boasted about attorney Johnny Cochran's legal skills and ability to pay off witnesses through private investigators and other third parties. Combs also claimed to have had Jennifer Lopez carry his gun into a club on the night of the shooting, showcasing his power and influence over her at the time. Additionally, he bragged about persuading Shine to take the blame for the shooting and paying him off through a record deal with his friend Lil Rod. In addition, Jones states that Combs informed him that only poor people pay taxes. Combs shared that it is a common practice in the music industry to wire money from anonymous accounts overseas to avoid tracing. According to Jones, these accounts were in Germany. At the end of the document, Jones mentions, "I could share other things, but I do not feel comfortable putting them in this document. I will be willing to discuss them with the court under seal to preserve my Fifth Amendment rights." This reinforces my belief that he is a cooperating witness with the government in this potential criminal investigation. If he is one of the witnesses cooperating and federal authorities raided these properties, they must be taking what he's saying as true. Perhaps they are corroborating his statements through evidence seized from Combs's properties. There's a lot to digest. But we also want to quickly discuss a new letter that Jones's attorney filed with the court in response to accusations that the attorney was being too sensational with his court filings. Tyrone Blackburn, one of the lawyers representing Rodney Jones and Grace Mary in their lawsuits against Sean Combs, Christian Combs, and others, faced criticism from United States District Court Judge for the Southern District of New York, Denise Coate. She submitted a referral to the New York Federal Court Grievance Committee, claiming that there were significant issues with Blackburn in 5 cases. Judge Coates stated, "Significant resources have been spent by judges of the court and defendants named in actions he has filed to address glaring deficiencies in his filings. A referral to this court's grievance committee is warranted." She further expressed concern that Blackburn's pattern of behavior suggested that he improperly filed cases in federal court to garner media attention, embarrass defendants with sensational allegations, and pressure defendants to settle quickly. She noted that his submissions to the court were filled with disturbing allegations against the defendants and their defense counsel. Additionally, Combs' attorney, Shan Hawley, alleged that Blackburn ignored exonerating evidence, stating, "Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. Attorneys representing Universal Music Group, one of the defendants sued by Rodney Jones for their alleged involvement in abuse and trafficking, vehemently denied Jones's claims. They argued that Jones's assertions were so offensively false. Donald Sarin, one of the lawyers, stated, "Mr. Blackburn, plaintiff's lawyer, has misused that license to self-promote gratuitously, falsely and recklessly accusing the defendants of criminal behavior." In response, Mr. Blackburn, Jones's attorney, penned a letter to Judge J. Pauline, who oversees Jones's lawsuit against Combs. He began by apologizing for taking up the court's time with a matter unrelated to the case. He accused the defendants of searching through court records in an attempt to distract from their inability to defend their actions regarding their business partnership with Sean Combs. Mr. Blackburn vehemently denied the accusations against him, stating, "I do not improperly file cases in federal court to garner media attention, embarrass defendants with salacious allegations, and pressure defendants to settle quickly." He emphasized that he does not seek media attention and turns down invitations for television appearances, podcasts, and radio shows. He boldly stated, "Although I choose my clients, I do not choose their facts." If a client comes to him with evidence supporting their claims of sexual assault, it is his duty to include all materials relied upon in drafting the complaint. He cited case law to support this approach. It's worth noting that Jones's complaint contained screenshots of videos, photos, copies of texts, and receipts for trips. These materials were included to bolster the claims of abuse and trafficking. Mr. Blackburn's letter serves as a robust defense against the allegations of improper conduct and highlights his commitment to representing his clients diligently and ethically. Blackburn concludes the letter by emphasizing that a referral to the grievance committee is not a form of punishment. He asserts that his pleadings in this district have consistently followed the standards set by Rule 8 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. Blackburn suggests that if the defendants are concerned about facing salacious claims, they should refrain from engaging in salacious acts. He highlights that it was the defendant's choice to enter a general business partnership with Sean Combs, which allegedly funded his sex trafficking operation. Hey guys, what do you think of these revelations? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to check out this next video if you don't know Will Smith's desperate plea, "Diddy owns me, a cry for help." Then don't forget to subscribe and stay connected to what's coming up. See you there!